Welcome back to Cord Cutting Today, where we break down some of the biggest stories happening in the world of cord cutting, including Roku OS 15 is coming with some improvements. We'll tell you what to expect. Early users have started to receive it, but very few people. We'll get the full breakdown of what's coming with Roku OS 15 that started to roll out this week. Also, Warner Brothers Discovery's merger with Paramount getting a step closer to reality. But at the same time, it looks like Netflix, which was rumored to be one of the targets of a potential competing bid for Warner Brothers Discovery to buy it, says they're not interested. We got these details and a lot more. There's a whole lot to talk about today. We'll break it all down for you. First off, if you want to learn more about any of the stories, check out the show notes and in the first pinned comment. I'll put a link to each video there so you can read them for yourself and come up with your own opinions. We would love to hear from you. If you like what we do here, hit that subscribe button, hit that thumbs up. Doing one or both lets YouTube know you enjoy what we do here, so they recommend our videos to more people, helping us grow and hopefully helping you break free from the high cost of TV and still watch the shows you enjoy. All right, let's dive into it. Roku OS 15. I got some early reports from readers that the new update has appeared on some of the Roku players. I haven't heard of any Roku TVs yet. Has it appeared for you? Let me know. Officially, this has not been launched yet. Seems like Roku's doing some early public beta testing with a handful of users. But they've been privately testing this with developers for a few months, and here's what we have according to Roku that's new here. Now, a lot of these improvements are under the hood things to help developers create new apps that load faster, run better, identify problems quicker, and the like. I suspect there's more to this update, but I don't suspect a dramatic change to it, but let's run it down. One of the big changes here is Roku's looking to speed up the load time and use the device's power better. This has been a big talk for a while that the Roku OS doesn't take full advantage of all the capabilities of some of their newer Pro TVs and others. This update seems to help app developers fully tap into the potential of the processor and the RAM to speed up the app loading with it. Also, it helps developers get better data back about crashes and issues with the app to help them identify problems with apps on Roku and fix them faster. So again, a lot of under the hood things. Support for different video formats and different types of audio, which allows Roku developers to maybe expand what kind of files can be played on your Roku. And then a lot of other minor changes coming under the hood with bug fixes and the like. So what do we know? Well, for now, not a lot of changes. Early beta testers have not noticed a lot on the front end with this, because a lot of these updates in the Roku OS seem to require the app developers to go update their apps to take advantage of them. I am excited for you. Roku has spent the last few updates slowly making their apps significantly faster over time. Each increase is not dramatic, but each one piles on top of each other. And if you would go back a few years, you would probably notice your Roku loading apps significantly slower. I notice this especially with things like my Roku Pro TV we have. It's considerably faster loading Disney Plus and things like YouTube TV now than it was in the past. Also, by the way, significantly faster than my older Roku TVs I have. But with that, we're seeing some changes. This new update will probably mean that apps like YouTube TV, YouTube, Disney Plus, and others will need an update to take advantage of that. We're going to keep a very close eye on this, but Roku rolling out an update slowly but surely to make their device better and better, addressing one of the big complaints, and I think for most people it doesn't matter. Maybe some other streaming player loads an app a little bit faster. You're 2 seconds faster or a second faster loading an app. In the grand scheme of things, once that movie starts, it's started. You're both watching it just like you would on any device. But there is an argument that as Roku makes the apps load faster, app developers can do more with it to take advantage of the new resource allocations. All right, let's dive into this. According to some early reports, Paramount and Warner Brothers Discovery is getting a little bit more serious about their talks of a potential merger. Now, not that long ago, we learned that Paramount was preparing a massive bid to buy Warner Brothers Discovery, or merge with it, however you want to say this. Reportedly a $75 billion mega deal, according to Deadline's report with this. Now we got bankers involved. Now, bankers, these big banks have whole departments that help companies do deals like this, and it sounds like there's, not a done deal, but the fact that they've involved bankers to get into it, these people charge a lot of money. You're not getting them involved unless you think both sides are interested, for one, unless you know both sides are interested, for one, or two, if there's some serious early preliminary talks have happened and both sides kind of have a rough framework of what they're thinking. And now it's up to the bankers to see if all the finite details can come together on a deal with it. We'll wait and see how it goes. These two companies generated $4 billion in box office earnings year to date with that. That's pretty impressive with this. We'll see how it plays out, but Paramount wants to get bigger under the new leadership of the Skydance team after this Paramount Skydance merger. Now we're going to see a big part of this, a lot of people are talking about this, is meant to be combining Paramount Plus and HBO Max to create kind of a super app. Will it have a super price? We'll wait and see. But we'll watch it closely. Now, Warner Bros. Discovery's involved investment banks to kind of shop around a little bit to see if anybody else is interested. They would love a bidding war for them, or at least some options on the table at least. Now, one of the things that reportedly were being targeted with this was tech companies, like Netflix being one. But at a court report from a Hollywood Reporter, Bloomberg Screen Times conference, Netflix co-CEO Greg Peters basically dismissed it, saying they would rather focus on internal growth and video games to see growth rather than running out and buying Warner Bros. Discovery. Probably a smart move on them, I'll be honest with you. Netflix does some stuff very well. They're profitable, which many streaming services are not. And buying Warner Bros. Discovery, while giving them a lot of assets and different things that they could use to make their business better, comes with a lot of baggage, a lot of red tape, a lot of red ink probably on the books in different departments. I mean, I know they're splitting up the cable, but you still have so much else happening with Warner Bros. Discovery that Netflix is probably like, that seems like more trouble than it's worth. We would rather go a different direction. And I actually think that's probably a smart move on Netflix's part. Now, I'm still not completely sold on their video game ambitions, but Netflix's internal growth strategy so far has paid off. They're expanding more heavily into sports. They're taking deliberate, careful steps to grow and expand into new areas. You know, for all the things that Netflix does wrong, I have to say I do think that their leadership has been fairly forward-thinking, has made some smart decisions over the years. I'm going to give them the benefit of the doubt on this one. You let me know what you think. All right, Fox is investing in a tech company, Holy Water. Now with this, Holy Water is an AI-first tech company with a focus on vertical video. They make vertical videos with this, and reportedly Fox is buying them to help expand their video production to get into the video phone, those short little reels and TikToks and other things that are vertical videos and other apps out there, to take its content, package it into smaller form factors on vertical videos, not only just to get revenue from them, but to help them promote what they're doing, help them promote their channels, shows, movies, sporting events, and more with it. So look for more vertical videos coming from Fox now that they're buying the tech company, Holy Water, which specializes in those vertical videos. Also, Fox has partnered or struck a deal with Roku Now to bring a bunch of its fast free channels over to Roku Now. Fox Sports, not the FS1, but a different Fox Sports free channel. Fox Weather, Live Now, which includes content from Fox and Fox Soul, and the TMZ 24/7 channel will be coming to Roku Now as part of this deal with Fox, so keep an eye on that. Also, hey, if you missed Prime Day, there's still a few good deals out there, including Roku's on sale, Tableau DVR's on sale, and Fire TV streaming devices still on sale after Prime Day. We got a link in the show, it's down below, but some really good deals here on those. Had a lot of comments. So we talked about the fact that FCC is looking at giving broadcast TV companies the ability to shut down the 1.0 signal to upgrade to 3.0 and only basically offer 3.0 over-the-air TV. Tableau DVRs do not support them. Would I recommend upgrading or getting one of the new Tableau DVRs? Honestly, if you're using an antenna, yeah, for 50-some bucks, and no monthly fees. Well, you may understand that it only may work for a few years until they upgrade at some point over the next few years. A DVR with an antenna is an incredibly powerful tool for cord cutters. I get a lot of my content that way, so I would buy it. Would I go spend $300-400 on one? No, but 50-some bucks, not a bad deal. I'll be willing to buy that with the understanding that at some point that 1.0 standard is going to shut down. And sadly at this point, Tableau does not have a 3.0 DVR available for sale, or I'll be recommending that one. All right, let's keep moving along. Today in TV history this week, 25 years ago this week, the 100th episode of Everybody Loves Raymond first aired. Now this is hard to believe. October 9, 2000. The sitcom hit a major milestone for CBS, originally launching in 1996, running through 2005. It hit its milestone this week of 100 episodes in 2000. 25 years ago. Wow, is that possible? All right. We talked about video games a little bit for Netflix earlier, but Netflix is bringing its video games from its apps to a handful of them on TVs. Now, on select Roku devices like Roku's and others, you'll be able to play games on your TV through Netflix, including a Lego Party, Tetris Time Warp, Pictionary, and more with this. These are kind of focused on party games, the kind of games that maybe you have a group of friends and you're going to play Pictionary or some other similar game on your television for it. Not a bad idea. How much this will drive subscribers, I don't know, or keep subscribers. But I'm not opposed to the idea of these kind of games on your through Netflix with it. So keep an eye on it. Of course, a lot more games available on mobile devices through Netflix with that. All right, a few other stories to keep an eye on. Microsoft is laying off more customers as it raises, or more customers. So yeah, they're laying off customers. They're laying off employees with this as they raise the price of Game Pass. So we'll have to keep an eye on this, but some of this comes from the fact that they recently acquired Activision Blizzard. And with this, some of it, you suddenly end up with 2 HR departments, 2 accounting departments. Some of this is redundant employees, and I hate to say it that way, but from a purely business sense, that's how they view it with it. But yeah, they say, hey, why do we need 2 people doing HR when or 2, not just 2 people, but 2 completely separate departments doing accounting, HR, customer service, maintenance, and other things. And at some point they say, well, we're going to cut out some of these duplicate positions. And I don't think Microsoft is done in that. So keep an eye on that. And again, sometimes people say, oh, Luke sounds like he's supporting that idea. Just reporting what's happening, telling you what they're saying, what they're doing, doesn't necessarily mean I agree with what they do. Also, in other news, OpenAI's Sora 2, which is an AI model that helps you make video games, is facing pushback as a growing number of media companies complain about AI generative tools using copyrighted material. This time, the Motion Picture Association has gone after OpenAI, saying that their new Sora 2 video app is basically using copyrighted materials to make its videos. There's several lawsuits around this. I think we're going to see some big ones that are going to set some precedent. But AI video creating apps are probably going to have to figure out a way to try to block that, and that's probably going to be more difficult than we think. We'll watch it closely with it. And lastly, one of the biggest makers of electronics in the United States, especially in wireless router technology, I have some of their smart plugs that connect to my Echo to turn on and off a fan that sits in my office, lamps and different things. TP-Link is facing potential action against it from U.S. regulators because of its links to the Chinese government with it. And there's concerns over them having access to the data of everybody's Wi-Fi routers with it. We'll keep an eye on this, but there could be action coming down. The TP-Link could join a growing number of Chinese companies facing sanctions to prevent them from launching services here in the United States. We'll watch it closely, let you know what we find with it, but for now, that's what's happening. Well, that's it for today. We'll have more videos tomorrow. Until then, take care, be safe. I'll be back Monday with another cord cutting today. Got a real good cord cutting tip of the day tomorrow, and more videos all weekend long. We try to post a video every day, so don't forget to hit that subscribe button. Don't forget to hit that thumbs up. Doing one or both lets YouTube know you enjoy what we do here. Take care, be safe.